Dota 2 fans, and welcome. I am your Radiant Canadian Dota 2 caster. More rage, please, Dota. And this is the Dota 2 Canada Cup playoffs. We have our second quarterfinals best of three and a highly anticipated match tonight between Complexity Gaming versus the Hot Hands Hand Warmers, two surprisingly proficient teams in this tournament. Complexity doing very well in the group stage, as well as Hot Hands Hand Warmers coming actually out of a qualifier position was HHHW. So I will affectionately nickname them Triple H tonight. To keep these cast concise. For those of you on the East Coast, we've got a little post-dinner action for you, so I hope you've got a belly full, because I'm going to give you an earful and an eye full tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the end of the NVIDIA Invitational Game 24 matchup between Cloud9 and Tinkerino. If you guys didn't end up catching that, Cloud9 did prevail 3-1, so sorry for not saying spoiler alert there, but big time C9 fanboy over here, so I was real excited about that. I got a belly full, I got a nice win out of C9, so I'm thrilled to cast for you guys tonight. We're going to hop right into the draft here with a Razor band coming out from Triple H, the Lycan and the Void band on the Radiant side for Complexity Gaming. Complexity Gaming's Twitter just tweeted me who I think is going to win Game 1. Check out my Twitter at MRP_Dota. I'm going to have to call Complexity here, but this HHH squad has been gritty and surprising is what I'm saying. Hopefully at Moon Meander, which is the core player for Complexity here, wasn't too focused, wasn't too distracted by the C9 game there, as he tweeted out that he betted on I should say, on C9 there. So we will have the Doom Viper 1-2 from Triple H. Really nice solid combo here, very tanky early on. Not extremely worried about this Exorcism pick, albeit Doom is a hero with some low base armor, high health pool, but low base armor, so that Exorcism will eat into him if he doesn't build some armor up quick. Viper not as worried about it, but certainly a solid and stable first two picks. Death Prophet, heavy push. They're going to grab up the Bat Rider for some for a 2 intelligence, open up for some ganking potential and initiation from that Bat Rider. So real nice, well-rounded starts from both teams here. The Venge is going to be immediately banned out. The Brewmaster ban did come out from Triple H here, so really strong hero we've seen lately that's kind of been ignored in the ban phases, and when he does actually make it through, Brew has been pretty damn effective recently in the scene. C9 used him to pretty good effect against EG yesterday night, so smart ban there from Triple H. They'll proceed to ban out the Shadow Shaman, so denying up a bit of more push and utility for Complexity's lineup. I'm just going to send this tweet out here, guys. Just give me a quick second.
Dire team ban.
So you will see the ban out from the Wraith King, so denying up a really tanky support, one that can eat up the Exorcism without too much worry, and definitely deny up some of the bigger cooldowns and have a massive slow, AoE slow into Complexity's lineup that would allow Triple H to re-engage on them.
Dire team pick. Mage. Radiant team pick.
So Net Gaming is going to be picked up by Triple H here. They're going to grab up the Skywrath Mage. Nothing we are not all too familiar with in this meta. So they're going to pick him up there. Really well-rounded. They don't really have too much to couple him with, as Doom and Viper do not have any hard disable, but they do have the Concussive Shot as well as the Viper Strike to court some enemies into a slow and hopefully drop a very nicely placed Mystic Flare for him. So we'll see what they look to combo him up with. Definitely going to see 2 cores here from Triple H in the Doom and the Viper. Would never see them in a 4 or 5 roll. Barring some extremely greedy lineups we've seen sometimes in the Chinese scene, or perhaps even some European teams doing that. The Shadow Demon going to be picked up by Complexity Gaming, so really nice defensive support, definitely good into that Mystic Flare. Actually was picked up right after the Skywrath, I believe. Yes, he was. And He is almost I want to say definitely a solid pick here, but I want to say almost a pick ban or a deny pick from Complexity. Shadow Demon, really good into the Bat Rider. The
Radiant
Demonic
team
Purge does
pick.
go through BKB. That slows the Bat down, as well as the defensive disruption on any lassoed target. So they pick that up as a very solid support for them. Good roaming support, a support that stays relevant pretty much throughout the game as long as he's able to get up some positioning items like a Force Staff or a Blink. So they do pick that, but it also denies it from Triple
Mirror.
H, and they will end up picking up the Jakiro here,
Dire
and
team ban.
Complexity will respond with the Potom, the Priestess of the Moon pick here. So Shadow Demon Mirana, for obvious reasons, a very good roaming duo. We'll see if the Mirana ends up being core or a support role.
10
So
seconds remaining.
the bans from Triple H here will indicate whether they
5
think this
seconds
Potom is going to
remaining.
be a support or a core role. I could see both here. Don't feel like Mirana
Reserve
offers too
time.
much into the late game, but so far with Complexity's lineup, it doesn't look like they're willing to take it too late. Bat Rider is a hero that somewhat falls off late game. His really key or ideal timing window is when he grabs up that Force Staff subsequent to the Blink, and that's when he becomes extremely effective early game. So there is a Juggernaut ban here
Radiant team
from
ban.
Triple H, a hero with some sustain, with the Healing Ward to help out the push there. Also a hero with some great pickoff potential with the Omni Slash, coupling him up with the Bat Rider, as well as the Shadow Demon and the Mirana. So very interesting ban from Triple H there. Perhaps this is something they've seen
Dire team
Complexity
pick.
run in the past, but Complexity will respond with an Earthshaker ban. So they are expecting a core Jakiro here from Triple H. Not sure how often Triple H has run that. I haven't had the privilege of casting Hot Hands Hand Warmers too often prior to this matchup, so I'm really looking forward to this matchup. Complexity actually a heavy favorite on Dota 2 Lounge right now. They are at 74% odds to win this game, so we'll see if your rares are in good
10
hands with
seconds
these Han pros
remaining.
here. Moon Meander, of course, a Canadian player here, so this
5
is the Dota 2
seconds
Canada Cup. He's on home turf in that sense. So I'm not sure. I believe there's one more player
Reserve time.
on Complexity who is also Canadian. I'm really going to have to look that up quickly for you guys. But I believe there are two Canadian
5
players on
seconds
this squad of
remaining.
Complexity Gaming, but I'll take a look here. Hit up the old Liquipedia. Dota 2 Wiki and Liquipedia's Dota 2 Wiki are some pretty damn good sites if you guys are looking for information on players, spells, spell interactions, things like magic immunity. So check that out. It's pretty awesome. Actually, Moon is the sole Canadian player on Complexity Gaming here. We actually have
10
Limp, who is
seconds remaining.
Swedish, I believe, and the rest are
5
American.
seconds
So there
remaining.
will be an Invoker pickup. So this is going to be a support Jakiro here. So the Earthshaker ban from Complexity
Reserve time.
countered up pretty nice because they were looking for a support pick here in the 5th, and Hot Hands Hand Warmers able to get up their Invoker here. So probably looking at safe lane Viper with an off lane Doom and the Invoker mid, but we'll see how Triple H chooses to lane it up here. We're going to see what Complexity responds with, and we will also have indication here or revelation to whether or not they choose to use this Mirana in a support role or a core. Mirana, a pretty damn good core in this lineup, and the only reason I say that is she does have the escape mechanism of the leap versus heroes like Viper, and they do have the disruption for the Doom here. So I wouldn't mind her in a core role, but of course we can see the obvious threat of the roaming combo of Mirana and Shadow Demon. So she would be effective certainly in both positions, and there is 50 plus seconds of reserve time here for Complexity Gaming, so they'll take their time and think it out and see what they can do here. Definitely the constant threat of the roaming duo is something, a looming worry for Triple H, something that they're going to have to be weary of, something that's going to push Invoker back in his lane and prevent him, or ensure, I should say, really, in the positive term, ensure the CS advantage of this Death Prophet mid. I'm presuming it does go mid, and we will have the Bat Rider off lane. So I do like the roaming combo here. I do think it will ensure some farm on their Death Prophet. However, if this roaming combo is not effective in the early stages of the game, it really puts a hamper on
10
what they're able to
seconds
do later on.
remaining.
And there is a Nature's Prophet pickup here So Swindle will pick up the mid Death Prophet. We will see Moon on the 1 position Nature's Prophet, and I love to see the 1 position NP Furion here. Looks really good. So it looks like we'll have him in the safe lane, and we'll see if we look to have an aggro try with a Bat Rider. Generally, you do not see that, especially with the lack of CC coming out from Triple H. This Bat Rider should have, Limp's Bat Rider, the offlane Bat Rider, should have a great time versus whatever lane he faces up here. A concussive shot into an Ice Path will certainly land on him if he's not able to fly out of the map in due time when that combination encroaches upon him, but other than that, he should have a really good time in this off lane, and this Shadow Demon Mirana roaming duo should do extremely well, with Z-Freak picking up the Rana, Riser on the Shadow Demon. So Complexity Gaming looks really, really strong in this tournament, and certainly expected to come out on top here. Let me just grab up this free camera for you guys. Sorry about that. So we'll take a look at the items here. It looks like Viper is almost building for mid. There was a pooled tangle toward the Invoker, and he has saved 300 gold, so he probably will end up mid. But there is a Wraith Band and a set of tangles on this Viper. He will probably end up mid because going for perhaps a bottle or Midas Rush. Probably Midas, the more likely choice there. So we'll take a look at the items here. We do have what looks like an off lane. I guess he has one ward up on Moon Meander, so he may go into the safe lane solo role here, as I mentioned in the draft. He's going to send a scouting Treant, and perhaps he did see that the pathing got blocked to the Treant here, but of course, summon units do not reveal smoke, so Z-Freak in quite a precarious, perilous position here. We'll see if he runs into Hot Hands. Cheech on the Viper. Actually, Cheech staying back, staying disciplined here, and not willing to run into an area he doesn't have vision of. So they will drop down the Magic Bush Ward here to block out the small camp for Complexity, but not sure Moon is going to matter too much. This is going to matter too much for Moon. They will actually block out the large camp as well, so to prevent the Bat Rider, Limp's Bat Rider, from retreating from his lane and finding some farm in the jungle. So that's definitely some good strategy there. Berguber as well as Melisum will si caliente, I like that. It's hot. So they will clean up a Treant here for some extra little early farm. And we'll see already Riser and Z-Freak posturing up in the mid with a smoke. They're going to look for Monib here on this Invoker. And we'll see if they are able to get this. There is support from Melisum in the back. He will pop the smoke early, and they will look to go on the Invoker, but there is support here from both sides. Ice Path will hit on both Z-Freak and Riser, but a few right clicks with Swindle as well as Z-Freak and Riser will finish off this DP easy. And this is a big win for Complexity, considering the fact that the support rotations were there early, so they lose out on early farm. It looks like Limp's going to do well in his lane, already up at 2-0 against the 1-0 of Cheech. So definitely committal was high mid here, and it looks like we may see a Korjakiro sitting mid. Probably unlikely, just grabbing up the farm while Monib comes back, and he will do that. So Swindle going to have a great time on mid with his advantage here. He's already got 400 gold up, so he'll have his bottle presumably before the 2-minute rube, and it looks like the Invoker needs to restart. Looks like Swindle isn't too sad about that, knowing he's going to have a wonderful time in this mid lane. So we do see some pretty obvious lanes out of Complexity here. Safe lane, Nature's Prophet on Moon. Riser going to look to D-Ward here, perhaps. He did place this sentry here, so he's going to find out this Observer right here and D-Ward that, and perhaps does look for this Magic Bush. It is possible that he thinks this Observer Ward is currently the thing blocking up this camp, so he may not look for this. He does have 3 tangles, so he could find this Magic Bush Ward if he gets lucky and is smart about it as well. So early game already looking good. Bat Rider doing extremely well in his lane. Limp sitting at almost level 3. As the supports were not here to zone him out early, as they did expect that mid roaming duo to encroach upon this Invoker of Monib, but unfortunately they were unable to disdain that gank from being successful. So early game impressions, we have Complexity doing very well. Moon's Nature's Prophet sitting up at 4-3 against his laning equivalent of Cheech, who is sitting at 1-0 against this Batrider. So being harassed a little bit early. He's not even sitting at level 2. Limp is out leveling him by quite a large margin at this point. So really hurt HHHW to have their 2 supports in mid and have the other lanes go extremely well for Complexity and give up the first blood mid on this Invoker Monib. The first blood gold did go to Z-Freaks Marana, so hopefully we'll have an unpause here, guys, and there are no more connection issues. So we'll see how this plays out here. Doesn't look like we're going to have too much aggression from the bot lane. A one-on-one matchup of the Nature's Prophet versus the Doom. Both heroes should get pretty good farm out of this lane. The Doom is drop is posturing up pretty far back in a safe position here. He's a little worried about this roaming duo, as he should be. So he's got some due fear there. Limp doing extremely well in his lane. He's going to catch some Liquid Fire Harass from Berg on this Jakiro, and perhaps looking for an Ice Path here, but doesn't look like he has support in time. So we'll take a look at this mid matchup. 8-1 of Swindle up against Monib's 5-0 on this Invoker. So as I said, Swindle doing well. He's got the little experience boost from that first blood, sitting at level 3.5. Monib about to ding 3 here. He does on that creep. So we'll take a look at Limp. He's looking to contest some pulls that currently are not happening, just staying in XP range. He'll throw some harass back in the face of Berg as he catches a Liquid Fire. Very effective early on this spell with no mana cost. We'll see Z-Freak and Riser rotate again towards the mid, so not something we're going to be... definitely not something we're going to see in moderation from this duo. Monib will see that they're missing on the map and actually is going back to grab up boots, so perhaps he's able to run from this disruption if he sees Riser in time. The wave is gone mid, so a little bit risky for Riser to pop out. And actually, they did find Limp in the top lane, so Ice Path did connect there. Monib knowing that there's no support for him, that Z-Freak and Riser must be roaming around, so he'll back off. But again, as I mentioned in the draft, CS insured here for Swindle. He's 15-3 up against the 9-1 of the Invoker, and they're not too worried about this Limp dying on this Batrider here, as he can retreat to the jungle and grab up some farm. And as well, there is a 3-way experience boost being soaked up by 3 heroes there, so not a huge loss. He certainly wouldn't like to die, but not the end of the world for Complexity here. So Swindle is pretty aggressive, sitting up at the top of the hill here. We will see rotations from Berg as well as Melisum here on the Skywrath and the Jakiro. So we'll see if they look to go in big range on this concussive shot. There was an arrow fired mid, and it is going to hit on Monib. Can Swindle get in time? He pops a haste rune. He's going to throw a couple right clicks into Monib, and he's going to pick him out. Oh, he doesn't actually die for this, but there is a poured in from Moon. He will grab up the treants to soak up the tower aggro, and presumably with one more Crypt Swarm from Swindle here, he'll actually catch a Sunstrike to the face, but not enough to kill him as he was bottling up in the meantime. There is an initiation bottom. Defensive disruption on Riser. He'll catch an Ancient Seal as well as an Arcane Bolt, but do they have the speed to get them? There's one more right click. Riser going to eat a tango, go into the trees. Ice Path going to miss, but another right click from Melisum will finish him off, and there's a 3-on-1 on Z-Freak here. Z-Freak going to get Ancient Sealed up. He'll get hit with the Liquid Fire, and he doesn't have the move speed to get away with this concussive shot hitting him. Surprisingly enough, they don't go in on Swindle here. He was pretty low with no bottle charges left, but unsure of any TP rotations. Triple H will be happy with their spoils and back off towards their lane. So big trade all across the map going their way. Limp's being harassed out here, and he will fall to Cheech in the top lane. So a little late TP support on Riser. Was going to look to go in with a defensive disruption, but as I mentioned in the draft, they did get that first blood mid. But this combo of Riser and Z-Freak has only warranted the 1 kill, and they've only generated that much in the early game, so they have not gotten any experience, and these supports are already level 3 on Triple H, so doing well in the early game. Perhaps Moon Meander a little distracted with that NVIDIA Game 24 game, not expecting this much early aggression out of Hot Hands, especially with a lineup that is lacking quite a bit of disable, so good on them. We're going to see 3 heroes from Complexity Gaming posture up top. They're going to look to push this lane in with some treants cooling down. They still have 20 20 seconds on their duration, and another wave will come up soon as Moon tread swaps here. So he does have his treads up. He's sitting at 33 for 11, dominating the CS board currently. Swindle sitting at 27 and 6. Limp is going to rotate to the safe lane, grab up some farm as well as defend their towers. So a good move from him. They'll look to glyph this here, but there are only 2 TPs out on Triple H. One of them from the Chikiro will come out now, as well as the Viper. There was rotations up from Melisum. The Ice Path should hit on Moon here. Arcane Bolt and a Liquid Fire and another right click to the face, but no Ice Path committed. He will commit it now as he TPs, and Moon will be cleaned up here. So TPing out of the fog there, and Moon will get cleaned up, and they will defend their tower. So great rotations here from Hot Hands Hand Warmers. Drop being gone on, aggressed on here mid. He will be lassoed up with 2 Napalm stacks from Limp's Batrider. He's gonna clean him up here, catch a few clicks from the tower, but he probably won't go down. Yep, 60 health left, and he'll look to juke around this Sunstrike. So perhaps Monib thinking that Limp was going to deny himself to the Ancient there. Pretty smart idea, knowing that he did get the kill. He is pretty low level. He might want to just buy up and kill himself there, suicide. Riser does go down to the combo of Cheech and Burger. Nothing much committed, but a Liquid Fire and some Ice Path there, so he's still holding on to his Viper Strike. So really good early game here. We'll look at the KDAs. 3-0-1 is Melisum on this Skywrath Mage. They will clean up Monib mid as well as Melisum, and they've got 3 here. They're looking to posture up the tower. The canceled TP will ensure this T1 mid going the way of Complexity. So just as it looked to be in the favor of Hot Hands, they will lose their mid T1 as well as their core Invoker and their Skywrath, who had a KDA of 3-0-1, so he was doing extremely well, sitting at level 4, so that's a lot of farm going the way of Complexity here. And they will commit the Exorcism. They'll try to get some chip damage done with half of this duration left on Swindle. Gotta clean up this wave quick so the spirits get into the tower more. Concussive Shot does go out and find Z-Freak, so they know where this arrow is coming from. A Cold Snap will go out onto Z-Freak, and a few right clicks and 1 Arcane Bolt. Gonna clean him up if he doesn't TP out in time, and actually he'll die to the neutrals. In the meantime, Moon Meander will be able to TP out in the face of both Monib and Cheech, as the Cold Snap was already committed, so they had no disable. Disruption by Riser will persuade Drop to just walk out without engaging on him. He was level 5, so it didn't look like he had the solo kill potential there anyways. Taking a look at the items, we look at Z-Freak as well as Riser, both sitting on pretty much brown boots. Z-Freak a little more poor than Riser is on this Shadow Demon. He's a good way towards his earn, so not extremely poor. He's doing fairly well, but this roaming duo just really hasn't worked out too well for them. Not exactly as they would expect. However, Limp on his Batrider is sitting at level 8. So if we take a look, he is topping the board, as well as Moon on his Nature's Prophet and the DP of Swindle in the mid. So they are doing extremely well. The graphs will certainly tell the story in terms of experience. They are up 1,000 experience and 2,000 gold on the side of Complexity at this point in the game. So Earn does come out for Riser here. We do see Z-Freak trying to recover a little bit from that early farm, as well as Monib in the safe lane. They're going to have 4 go on this tower bottom. Swindle is going to TP in, and the wave will give them vision that all 4 are here, so they know that the defense is imminent. There is a Yule's recipe here for Swindle at 9 minutes. Phase Bottle Yule, so he's doing extremely well. Actually still needs the Void Stone, so about another 450 gold needed for Swindle for that Yule's Scepter, but doing extremely well at 9 minutes into the game. The Zoning Ice Path will catch Riser, so there will be no initiation use with the Disruption there, and as Firefly is cooling down, Complexity will be content with defending their tower here. Blink, though, up on. Drops Doom already at 9 minutes in, so that's a good timing, especially for him coming out of the offlane, and he looks to use it quickly. He will jump in and drop the Doom on Swindle, but the Disruption is there from Riser to deter their aggression, and Swindle is just so damn fast with these phase boosts, sitting at a base with her items, 395 move speed, and actually the Invoker will get cleaned up again top with the combination of Moon Meander, Nature's Prophet, and Z-Freak's Mirana. We will see Cheech posture up mid looking to take this tower, but he won't get much done here as Swindle is already there. And it looks like Swindle's just 150 gold away from his Yules at this point. He's already got the Courier sitting here preemptively. And that tower will give him enough, so the Courier will grab up, has his recipe, will grab up the Void Stone. So great Yules timing. Yules phase bottle up for Swindle. He did extremely well in the mid. So even though Z-Freak and Riser's roaming Mirana Shadow Demon combination didn't get tons done in the way of kills, it has really hindered the ability for this Invoker Amonim to farm. He's sitting at 2,500 net worth, just above all of the supports in the game. So really poor early game for him. He's got Phase, Bassi, Chainmail. So we'll look at what to see what he builds into with this Chainmail. Perhaps just looking for casual 5 armor there. I'm not exactly sure that he would go Blade Mail. Perhaps a Medallion. He does have the Forge Spirit, so they may look to grab a Medallion for him for Roche and other engagements. Doom is not up for another 15 seconds on Drops Doom here. He wasted the first one on Swindle as he was able to back up. So there are 3 heroes top. Concussive Shot will go out, but just a zoning one at this point. And so pretty passive at this point, things settling down a little bit. We'll look at the item progression. As I said, Yule's Blink is up on Limp's Batrider. We may see an engagement top here. The mech is already out for Cheech, so really good timing for him. He's sitting at the top of his team's net worth, sitting at 5k, just about 1,000 below Moon Meander's Nature's Prophet as well as Swindle's Death Prophet. So he's doing probably the best on his team. There is a port in from Moon. There is a lasso blink as well as the arrow onto Berg, and he's going to drop and quickly. They'll even commit the Sprout to ensure he can't get away, and there's no support here from Dropped. Smart decision from him, even though he had the Doom up, not much he could do. And they'll look to take an immediate tower off this, and that is the power of Complexity's lineup with this Nature's Prophet as well as the Death Prophet, the Prophet combo. They can look to go right into objectives as they find pickoffs. So just as Hot Hands have 7 kills, they really haven't gotten done much in terms of map control off of those kills. And as you can see, all of the T1s for the Radiant side, very healthy. Swindle's going to commit the Exorcism here, and they're going to look to go into this T2 already. Drop sitting in the trees here, no vision for them. If they pop the Firefly, however, on Limp, they are going to find him. So if he sees that, he should blink out promptly. There is a silence up from Swindle onto Berg, but just a zoning one as they'll take this T2 and back out quick. TP's out from Moon and Swindle. They'll look to D the mid lane with the remainder of this Exorcism. So really good early game going for Complexity. Yeah, the score is a little bit deceptive here. It doesn't show how far they are ahead. Maybe the graphs will tell the story. There is a almost 4k experience lead for Complexity and a in excess of 5k, almost 7,500 net worth lead after that tower registers for Complexity. So they're looking really good in the early game. We'll take a look at Moon's. Oh, he'll get doomed up and Sunstrike here, so he will go down, but he did just buy an Orchid. So Moon looking great, sitting at 7,200 net worth, but he will feed over a lot to this Doom. As you see, he gets a full level and more, and he's got 600 gold. They're going to look to sneak a Roche here, so it was a Medallion build from Monib, just looking to help out his team, looking to recover a little with that item. So they look to go into Roche with the Medallion and the Liquid Fire and the Nether Toxin. They will clean this up in decent time, but the arrow flies in. It will hit on Roche, but it will scout out that they are doing this. And Riser looks to go in immediate blink jump in from Limp. He's going to pull Monib out of the pit, and that's going to spell his doom. He gets cleaned up with a few right clicks as well as a Crypt Swarm. And not sure why they're looking to engage into this great defensive disruption from Riser onto himself. He doesn't die from the Mystic Flare, and the Moonlight Shadow will cover their retreat. Arrow going to hit long range from Z-Freak, but it doesn't look like he's willing to go in on Cheech yet. He is with Swindle. They will throw a Crypt Swarm, and Z-Freak will leap to the low ground to save his own life. One right click from Cheech will finish him off, but Z-Freak jukes properly. Oh, and he does get cleaned up by Cheech. The Wrath of Nature will not be enough to bring down Cheech, and there's all 5 still up from Hot Hands, so we'll look to see if Swindle goes in. He's got this Exorcism up, but the Firefly as well as the damage from Moon Meander are going to be enough here to clean up Monib for the second time. So he came in back into that engagement. Not sure if he walked up mid or bought back there. We'll take a look. He did buy back, so his buyback's on cooldown for in excess of 5 minutes. And with the Exorcism still in their back pocket, Complexity going to look to take Roche here. So what looked like a terrible engagement for them actually ended up turning in their favor by the end of it. Moon came in with some support. Z-Freak was able to, he died off and he wasn't able to rejoin the engagement. but he did get some real work done on Cheech there. So Cheech was unable to get back into the fight after having that being the receptor of that arrow here when he went to very low health. So excellent job there from Complexity, splitting up Triple H and picking them off one by one. So although they didn't get too many kills there, they got the Roshan, they denied it from Triple H, as well as killing off Monib twice. So as poorly as he's been doing, this is going to snowball, and it's only getting worse. And downhill from here, Phase Boots, Bassi, Medallion at 15 minutes on a solo mid Invoker, 16 minutes I should say. He's sitting at 3,000 net worth, which is about a third of what Moon Meander's Nature's Prophet and Swindle Melon's Death Prophet are doing at this point. Riser does have his Phase Boots as well as a... Oh, sorry, Riser does have his Force Staff up as well as an Urn, so he's doing extremely well. Like I mentioned in the draft, this Shadow Demon, extremely relevant and effective when he gets his positioning items up. So that's another form of initiation as well as disengagement for Riser here. So he's looking really good, sitting at 4,200 net worth on this support Shadow Demon. We will see Cheech and Drop posture up to defend this bot lane, and perhaps that they know a trade is imminent and they will look to take this tier 1 bottom. Moon chipping away on this T2, perhaps baiting himself out as Limp is looking in the trees to find someone. He will blink in here, but he's really overextended. Is the Ice Path there? It's not a long enough range, and the arrow will actually whiff on Monib. He'll cop the Demonic Purge though and die from a right click from Limp's Batrider, and the Sprout and the Orchid combo will trap up Cheech here. The Mystic Flare will mostly whiff on Z-Freak, but a Liquid Fire will clean him off, and that'll sound the retreat from Complexity Gaming there. So good job by Moon to dissuade Cheech's aggression with that Sprout Orchid combo. He does have a blink here, so perhaps looking to disjoint the Viper Strike, and he was. Cheeky play there from Moon, baiting himself out, hoping that Cheech would expend an ultimate on him and that he could disjoint it with the blink there. But Batrider actually does find the Skywrath in the mid without a lasso, so having his force, if there is a blink from Drop, he will doom him, but he's already Fireflied up, so using the high ground, low ground advantage here, but Firefly does expire, unfortunately, in not so much of a fortuitous time for Limp, and the level death from Drop will clean him up there, so they'll get a return kill, but engagement top onto Cheech. Riser with the Demonic Purge will clean him up. He will die, took out to the Poison Orb attack as well as the Corrosive Skin, but experience for both him and Z-Freak, and Z-Freak has actually gone for a minus here, so looking to stay relevant in this game despite what I mentioned before about his poor start. So he's sitting at 4,300 net worth with the Shadow Demon, albeit the Shadow Demon of Riser offers a little more to the team at this point, having his Force Staff as well as the Urn and a full Magic Stick. So things looking really good for Complexity Gaming here. We'll take a look at the gold app. They've surmounted a 14,000 gold lead 18 minutes into the game, as well as generated 7,500 experience advantage. And as you've noticed, all of the towers except for the safe lane T2 on the side of Triple H are down. So they have one last outer tier tower, and there are all the towers healthy and alive for Complexity Gaming here. So they're looking extremely good. 18 minutes into the game here. We'll take a look at the item progression. We see Swindle has come out with a Rod of Owie, as well as holding onto that Aegis. There's going to be an engagement here. Yule's up onto Burger. There will be a follow-up silence, as well as the lasso. Arrow will land on Burger, and he'll go down. Exorcism popped here, but the Sunstrike, as well as a right-click from Drop, will drop the Aegis on Swindle, and he comes back without an Exorcism. Demonic Purge going to go out onto Cheech. Moon and Swindle Melons will look to take him out. There is an Orchid here, but no damage going into him while the Orchid is up. Will the Orchid be enough to finish him off? It is not. And the Orchid will be popped again onto Drop. He'll cop an arrow in the face, and it'll be a 3 for an Aegis trade at this point. Looks like they're going to get Monib here too. Sticky Napalm stacks going out, as well as the body blocks and the Sprout from Moon, and they'll clean him up here. But Moon actually does die on the backside to a creep, so it looks like the Forge Spirits did a little bit of damage to him, and he was killed off by a neutral from that hard camp there. So ends up being a 4 for 1 and an Aegis in favor of Complexity Gaming. We'll see if they look to get cocky and go high ground here. But with the Macropyre Ice Path committed from Berg, they don't have a creep wave with a siege creep anytime soon, and the Exorcism is down as well. So a Rod of Owie out, 1,200 gold, as well as the Yules and the drums for Swindle. So really farm DP at 10,000 net worth. It looks like either a Deso Maelstrom or BKB coming out for Moon here. I don't mind any of those choices. There is still the Doom as well as the Viper Strike to go through BKB, so I could see Moon going for something a little more damage oriented or farm oriented, considering that Swindle is probably the target, the most high priority target to be bursted down in these fights by Hot Hands. Take a look at the item progression from Triple H. There is a point booster bracer Aquila mech out on Cheech's Viper, so he's still a ways away from Aghanims, looking at about 2,200 gold away from his Aghanim Scepter, unfortunately. So not much in the way of item progression. There is a point booster and an Ogre Club and 380 gold up on Drops Doom. They will smoke 2 heroes here, 3 heroes actually, Monib, Berg, and Drop, looking to find, they will find Swindle here in the bot lane. Not sure if they saw him from the high ground. Looks like they didn't, but there is a concussive shot, blink in, cold snap, and no Doom committed on Limp. So good discipline there from Drop to keep his Doom in his pocket. Wrath of Nature does come through and do quite a lot of damage to Triple H here, but doesn't look like Riser perhaps going to engage here. Although Cheech is closest to them, and he is certainly one of the tankiest of their heroes. There was a TP in from Moon aggressively into the base, but he cancels it. He'll TP in here, he'll orc it up Monib, and he'll put some right-click damage into him. And with the Maelstrom, one more proc, and it isn't enough here. Ice Path, as well as Macropyre going into Moon's face, but they do find the Doom on the backside, and they will kill off Cheech here, eating a hell of a lot of this exorcism. Melisum was able to clean up on the background Z-Freak with a concussive shot, Ancient Seal, Mystic Flare combo, but Moon will clean him up with an Orchid and a few right clicks. A very risky and dangerous play there, but it does pay off for him. He's got 1,000 gold and this Maelstrom, as well as a Blink and Treads on his Nature's Prophet, so he's really farmed this game one, looking really good for Complexity. Looks like they are in the driver's seat, and inevitably they will take this game. Really poor supports here for Triple H. Jakiro basically with nothing but Tranquils and only Brown Boots Talisman on this Skywrath Mage. So Complexity certainly willing to sit back and farm until the next Exorcism and Roshan is up. And about less than a minute here, about 30 seconds until we find out how long this Roche spawn is, and it does look like it will be almost the full spawn, if that is correct. That is a maximum spawn right there, folks, at 11 minutes for this Roshan. So we'll see in 10 seconds or so. And no one has actually scouted out the pit, so looks like Moon is just going to farm aggressively in the Dire Jungle at this point. There is a gem out on the Bat Rider, Limp's Bat Rider, as well as his Boots of Travel. So he's going to look to establish match control. They're going to look to choke Triple H into their base, which is exactly the right play at this point in the game. In fact, even an earlier gem would have been more than understandable on Limp here. There is 3,500 gold sitting on Swindle's DP, so we'll look to see what he goes here. There's no smoke movement, but perhaps there is initiation here with the Blink Doom. They just don't have the movement speed to chase down Swindle here unless the Viper is able to get in there first with a smoke. So Moon will do some split pushing on the top lane. If we take a look at the hero level, Viper is the only one keeping up with experience of Complexity Gaming. Their next highest level is underneath the Shadow Demon with Drop at level 11. So they're doing really poor here. He will jump in and Doom has his Scorch Earth popped on Moon, so it looks like he will drop Moon here. Sunstrike will connect as well, so level death finishing him off. Instant buyback. Moon tilting a bit. Instant Rage BB. Look to see what he goes to do here. He will port into the mid, into the trees. He will jump in. There will be a Yule Scepter from Swindle, as well as the arrow landing on Cheech and the Orchid. That'll clean him up quick. Even the Demonic Purge committed. Bat Rider jumps in limp. He's going to find Monib. That's 2 down quick for Triple H. And with the Exorcism up, they're definitely going high ground here. And actually, they turned tail. No, just scouting the high ground for any heroes trying to flank. Ice Path going to try and delay them here, but it hits on nobody. And next Exorcism going to do a lot of work on these towers. Swindle tanking up a bit from the tower, but he'll get healed up from these spirits. And there is a jump in, as well as an arrow flame break and a right click from Moonmeander. They're going to clean up. A right click from Moonmeander will clean up Melisum, Skywrath Mage, and this is a free lane of racks for Complexity Gaming, so they're looking good here. No defense anytime soon from Drop and Berg on this Jakiro and Doom, so clean up the top wave with a Firefly from Limp. and they will take down this T3 for free as well. Respawn's coming out real soon, so we'll look to see if they engage here. There is an Ancient Seal that goes out, but a nice blink out, a jump in from the Doom, but he doesn't have a stomp for anyone, and a flame break out onto Monib. Doom will end up dying. The Sunstrike's going to whiff on anyone, and they call the GG. Nice Yules from Swindle. Here's going to avoid the post-GG death, and he will come down and throw a right click into the face of Monib on that Invoker. So, excellent game one from Complexity. Very action-packed early game, something that looked like they were evenly trading early on, but with the Bat Rider doing as well as he did in his offlane, and their global presence with him as well as the Nature's Prophet, Complexity just able to get more out of the map. The roaming duo, although it didn't find too many kills early of Riser's Shadow Demon as well as Z-Freaks Mirana, they did just completely zone out Monib of the mid lane on that Invoker, and he proceeded to die twice early game. So really poor game for him, unfortunately, but they really did focus on hindering his farm and did a damn good job of it. So although Drop was able to get up that 9-minute blink on his Doom, to no avail. So they ignored him, and rightfully so, as Moon was able to do extremely well in that one-on-one range versus melee matchup, as well as having his harass from the treants and his ability to control the creep equilibrium. So thank you guys for joining me for Game 1 of the Dota 2 Canada Cup quarterfinals of the playoffs here. Once again, we've got Complexity Gaming versus Hot Hands, and they roll over HHHW in Game 1. So we'll see if Hot Hands Hands Warmer looks to come back in Game 2 and redeem themselves and take this to a 3-game series. And we'll look for Moon Meander, the Canadian, and the rest of his non-Canadian former Han Pro squad to close them out and look dominant in 2 games. So 25-minute win in Game 1. The schedule has, let me just take a look here, guys, actually at 7:45, so they offered up an hour for each of these games. Not sure if we'll have the game start soon. Probably will. So we'll be back soon. I'll keep the stream live for you guys, and I'll see you at the latest in about half an hour from now. So thanks for watching, guys. I am your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. More Rage Please Dota, and we'll be back soon with more Dota 2 Canada Cup action. Well, there ain't no rest for the wicked, and money don't grow on trees. So we're gonna go right back into game 2 here, guys. But money does befall the winners of the Dota 2
10
Canada
seconds
Cup.
remaining.
And both teams here in this single elimination playoff
5
bracket in the
seconds remaining.
quarterfinals looking to advance. Complexity Gaming did take game 1 if you weren't able to
Reserve
join me for
time.
that. But thank you for your support and thank you for tuning in for game 2 if that was the case. And thank you for those that were here for game 1. I am More Rage Please Dota, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. You can find me on Twitter at MRP_Dota. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Real exciting game in game 1, a convincing win from start to finish for Complexity Gaming. They were able to zone out the mid invoker of Monib on HHHW here. And secure a great farm for Swindle Melons, Death Prophet, as well as Moon Meanders, Nature's Prophet. So the Profit strat works out for Complexity Gaming. They took objectives, they pushed towers early, they had all but one outer tier tower down from the side of Hot Hands, Hand Warmers, about, I would say, 16 minutes into the game or so. So really good game for them. They close it out in 25 minutes with the GG call coming after what was pretty much a team wipe and a free lane of racks. So we'll see how they look, what they look to do in game 2 in terms of the draft. We'll see how HHHW looks to counter this up. So taking a lot of their reserve time on ban 1 from Complexity Gaming, so it looks like this ban will be indicative of the rest of their strategy, something they're not taking with light hearts or minds. So 20 seconds left. Not sure if we perhaps could see a DC here from the drafter and a remake on the lobby. So if that's the case, guys, just stick with me here. But it does seem that we have
remaining.
only 8 seconds left in reserve time for the first ban, and I doubt
5
that that's the
seconds
case
remaining.
in all reality. So we'll see here what ends up happening. Yeah, no ban coming out there,
Radiant
so
team ban.
I'm just going to look to reconnect here, guys. I'll take a look at chat. Yeah, everyone disconnecting from game, so we'll wait for the next lobby here. I am casting from the ticket, unfortunately. If you want to support me and you want to get me in casting in real and you really hate Toby1, Kappa, support me on at MRP_Dota. Throw me a message on Twitch, twitch.tv/MRP_Dota as well. Or flame me on Reddit. Any opinion is a good opinion, guys, so appreciate it. I'm going to try and jump back into this game. I believe they're going to remake this lobby, and this one is probably empty still, but we'll take a look. Again, Complexity Gaming has the one Canadian of the match as far as I know, and they won, so I'm not saying they cheated or anything, but you know, home field advantage, it's real. And Moon Meander, actually the native of British Columbia, so on the west coast of Canada as well as RTZ. So I am in the new lobby here, guys. Everyone loading up. Looks real good. And I'm going to hop right into the game here. I am not a broadcaster. I am your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. More rage, please. _Dota. So, hop right into the draft here. There is an immediate ban out from of the Lycan from the Radiant side of HHHW. So, nothing we're not too familiar with there. Pretty common ban. Lycan very strong, of course, with the dire Roach advantage. So, we'll see how Complexity Gaming looks to respond. We'll see what direction they look to take their draft in this possible elimination game for HHHW here. Looks like Complexity could move on in this game, and in that case, they will be facing the winner of the Sneaky Nyx Assassins versus Root Gaming game, which will be played on September 21st, this Sunday. And I believe that one's at 4:30. If not, it may be the second round at 8:30. So on September 21st, guys, on Sunday, tune in. We've got 2 best of 3 for you, 2 best of 3 series for you. With Navi US going up against the Peruvian squad, not today, and I believe the only South American team left standing in the tournament. So big implications there for South America. A lot of the North American teams have done well. I'm not sure if HHHW is a South American team. There's just really not much out there in the way of information on them. So I may stand corrected on that front. But either way, if HHHW is eliminated here by Sunday, not today, will be the last South
Dire
American team
team
standing.
ban.
So they will face off against Narvi, or the United States division of Navi, and SNA, IX Mike's Sneaky Nicks Assassins, will face off against Root Gaming on Sunday, and that will round out the quarterfinals. And then we will have the semis in the
Radiant
Dota
team
2
pick.
Canada Cup, and that is how we do it in the North. So we have a ban from the Brewmaster from HHHW. So no Brewmaster in this series so far. No pesky splits to worry about for either side. The Void ban is going to come out from
Dire
Complexity Gaming.
team pick.
So a lot of big team fight ultimates taken away with the Death Prophet ban actually from Complexity as well. So as annoying as that hero is, if they're not going to play it, they don't want to play against it. They'll pick up the Viper as well as the Earthshaker. So good zoning support in the Earthshaker. A good 5 roll that can get something done pretty much throughout the game, with the fissure blocks as well as the echo slam, providing quite a big team fight boost. So they pick up the Viper, tanky first hero, potentially going up mid against the Razor. This is a crazy matchup here.
10 seconds
What are
remaining.
2 heroes who are considered lane dominators, and actually Viper,
5 seconds remaining.
Razor does enjoy that lane quite a bit with having the static link to sap away
Reserve time.
Viper's damage, and if he's not clicking with that static link, right clicking while he's static linking, he actually doesn't take any harass from that corrosive skin. So definitely a lane both heroes do well in, but I think Razor has the slight edge there. Doom will be picked up as the second pick from
Radiant team
HHHW,
ban.
so we'll see if it's going to be drops off lane Doom again. He played well. He was probably one of the few bright spots for HHHW in that last game. I feel like Melisum did pretty well as well, but on the Skywrath Mage, but to no avail. They end up losing game 1. We'll see a ban out from the Bat Rider from HHHW, so they don't want to see that initiation on their key targets again, as they did in the first game. Limp playing excellent on that Bat Rider, feeding 1 kill early to Cheech in that
10
off lane, but
seconds remaining.
other than that, just having a wonderful game, pretty much
5
flawless
seconds
in his
remaining.
initiation, and was never really punished for it by HHHW.
Reserve
So
time.
Hot Hands Hand Warmers looking to redeem themselves in game 2 here. We'll see what they end up going with on their next pick. There is a ban out from the Wraith King
Radiant
for
team
Complexity
ban.
Gaming. So really solid support, tanky support, support that whose life is not as important as most supports, because he's got 2 of them, and he can jump in and slow your entire team down. So good utility taken out from Complexity Gaming there. An annoying target that they
10
don't want to have to
seconds
bring down
remaining.
twice. A target that
Dire
is able to
team
run
ban.
into the team fight and soak up a lot and allow this Razor to do some static linking. He has the Wraithfire Blast as well as the big slow that really helps this Razor out. So smart ban out there from Complexity Gaming. We will see the Tinker ban from HHHW. So I
10
believe
seconds
generally
remaining.
you would see Moon on that Tinker. So they're going to deny up his Tinker. I'm
5
not sure if I've
seconds
seen too
remaining.
much Swindle on Tinker. He is the mid-roll player. The 2-player for
Reserve
Complexity
time.
Gaming. So I'm not sure I've seen so much Swindle Tinker, but they banned Tinker out nonetheless. Tinker, not necessarily a counter to either of Doom or Razor, but certainly a hero that's annoying to deal with, an amazing farmer, someone that can split up the map, and perhaps HHHW looking for more of a death ball 5-man strategy here, so denying out some of the split push there. Or the creep cutting ability. That's definitely a common ground between the Bat Rider and the Tinker, is the ability to creep cut and escape, so perhaps they're looking to deny that up. Matt Gaming, the Skywrath Mage, is going to be picked up by Complexity Gaming here. So they've got a really solid support combo with that long range concussive shot into the Fissure, into the Mystic Flare when that does come out, as well as the Ancient Seal Silence. So very nice roaming support combo there, as well as a good support combo in a tri-lane. So
10
we'll see if they
seconds
look to put
remaining.
this Viper on Moon or on Swindle in the mid lane, or
5
perhaps even on
seconds
Limp in
remaining.
the off lane. I've seen Limp play Viper before. Perhaps they look to go aggressive here.
Reserve time.
Depending on the lanes of HHHW, they will ban out the Shadow Demon. So banning out the good defensive support, especially up against the Skywrath Mage. So they actually banned the SDB just before that Skywrath Mage pickup. So those two decisions coupled together well. I should say, mincing words there.
Reserve time.
But they do pick up the Venge here on Triple
Dire
HW,
team
so
pick.
add some minus armor, a little bit of
Radiant
push
team
power in
pick.
terms of that damage onto waves, as well as all the right click she provides for the entire team with that damage aura. But the immediate pickup from Complexity Gaming on this Jakiro, generally assume, yeah, this is going to be Moon's Jakiro. They've played a lot of one-role Jakiro, just as VP has in many other teams since this has become popular. So not a push-heavy lineup, but Jakiro does offer them a stable and sustainable push with that spammable liquid fire. Only a 4-second cooldown at level 4, and definitely the skill that Moon will be looking to max out by level 7. So that'll be a core Jakiro on Complexity Gaming. It looks like they're going to look to take it to Triple HW very quickly. And Nature's Prophet going to be picked up by Triple HW, so they will deny the Sprout into Mystic Flare combo from Complexity. They don't want to see Limp play on that Nature's Prophet. So they're maybe assuming that Swindle's on this Viper mid lane and Moon on the Jakiro. In a probably what is a safe tri lane, perhaps an aggressive tri lane. They certainly have the kill potential to take out this Doom, but there's a lot of magic damage between the Skywrath Jakiro and the Earthshaker as opposed to right click, and Doom is a little more susceptible to right click in the early game with his lack of armor, so he does have a large health pool to soak up a little bit of magic damage. But either way, 3-on-1, they probably kill him most of the time. We see a Shadow Shaman ban here from Complexity Gaming, so banning out a push heavy support, a utility support, someone who generally builds a blink and has a great initiation toolkit with the Hex as well as the Shackle and the Ward Trap. So nice ban from them. Surprising that Shadow Shaman makes it this far in the draft, whether it be through picks or through bans. The fact that he made it into the 5th ban pick phase is crazy because he's really strong in this meta, in this aggressive meta. Not the strongest in the tri lanes, but definitely a strong roamer and relevant throughout the game, as many Shadow Shaman players have showed up building into the Ags, building into the Blink. But regardless, they will pick up the puck on the side of Complexity Gaming. So this could be Swindle's mid puck with a safe lane Viper and the aggressive Tri, or with the core Jakiro, or the offlane puck here from Limp. Probably the more likely of the choice, unless they put Viper solo in the safe lane up against the Doom. You definitely wouldn't want to see that Viper solo in the offlane. So we'll see when the picks come out, and we'll see perhaps based on the picks from Triple HW. They did ban out the Tide Hunter previous to that, so they were expecting an offlaner as well. So it could be Limp's puck here on the offlane. We'll see. Perhaps it's just the player on Complexity Gaming that is most inclined to play it or most comfortable with this puck hero. So a lot of magic damage early, a lot of potential from Complexity Gaming. Definitely a lineup they do not want to take into the late game versus a Razor Doom Nature's Prophet combo, of course, from Triple HW. Only 3 seconds left in time, so we'll see the pick come out here, and it is a Dazzle. So Dazzle Venge support combo, very defensive support combo with the swap, with the Shallow Grave, with the Heal Bomb. So we'll see what ends up happening. It does seem to be a one-position Doom here from Cheech. So we'll see what ends up happening in terms of the lanes here for Complexity. It does look like, yeah, Limp picks up the puck, so it will be an off-lane puck. Swindle will be mid on this Viper with a Wraith Band and 2 branches, as well as some pooled tangos from his buddy Riser here. Hard support, Riser on the 5 ES, Z-Freak on the 4. Boots first, Skywrath Mage, so he's going to look to do a lot of zoning out on this lane. And we've got Moon Meander, as I mentioned, on the 1-position Jakiro. 5-man movement from Triple HW through their jungle. Make sure things aren't smoked up, and hopefully Limp doesn't run into them. He can skill up the Orb level 1, but he's going to walk into this Doom. He actually puts down a nice Observer Ward here. That's going to give him a lot of information onto who's coming into the lane. Sees almost all the way up into the fog. So because these trees are here, it's going to see any rotation inwards towards this direction. And Monib actually has the phone. So Franker is called by Moon Meander. Didn't know you could pause a pro Dota game for the phone, but I guess if it's your mother, it's excusable. So it looks like we will have drop on the solo Nature's Prophet. Not sure if he'll go off lane or safe lane. He is boots first. So perhaps he goes into the off lane. Um, we do have Monib's Razor mid, of course, so nothing that Complexity couldn't read from these lanes from Hot Hands. However, it did seem like they expected an offlane in the last pick, so their lanes as well predicted in terms of Limp's offlane puck. So there's the go call. We will resume here, guys. Doesn't look like Limp's in any immediate danger. He will rotate out towards his tower, and they'll actually have
30 seconds to battle.
Riser posture up in this bot lane, so could be dual lanes here from Complexity. That would be certainly a curveball thrown the way of HHHW. Don't think that's going to be something they're expecting, but we'll see if Riser just looks to block the lane here, which is what I anticipate, and get out. So he may just fissure block this creep wave in order to get Limp some early experience on this puck. That ever so crucial experience on that hero. A few levels up in the orb, as well as one in the silence and the dream coil, and he becomes a menace and a force to reckon with on the map. So we'll see what Riser does here, as not much else is going on. It does look like Drop's going to be playing on this off lane Nature's Prophet. He will already send up some treants to scout the rune, which was already taken. I'm not sure by who. It might have been denied up, actually, by these treants. So he will be 1 versus 2 against Zfreak Skywrath and Moonmeander's Jakiro. So he's going to crop a lot of harass from this Arcane Bolt, as well as Liquid Fire here. So it's going to be Limp's solo puck up against the 3 of Berg's Dazzle, Cheech's Doom, as well as the Vengeful Spirit, which is played by Melisum. So he'll throw out a level 1 Poison Touch, but cop some harass from the right clicks here. And Drop will catch a lot of harass here. As I mentioned, Clarity's already up on Zfreak, and Moonmeander Liquid Fire went into him once already. So I feel like Limp will do a little bit better in his lane than will Drop's Nature's Prophet, but he will be able to disrupt the creep equilibrium with his treants. So perhaps we'll get some experience and some farm from doing that. A little bit of a dive here from Swindle onto Monib very early. Doesn't look like a Fisher was committed, but it looks like Riser was postured up in order to finish off that kill if the opportunity presented itself. So keep an eye here. 8-4 of Swindle's Viper up against this 4-0 of Monib early game in this mid lane. So he's doing extremely well up on the Viper with 1 level up and that Nether Toxin to help him last hit. Here's the static link I was talking about on Razor. He does have a little bit lower movement speed with no boots on him, so smart idea from Swindle to go for these early boots here. He obviously got some good farm out of the first 2 waves because he didn't begin with them. He had the Wraith Band as well as a couple GG branches. So Limp doing well in his lane. He's 1-1 up against his laning equivalent Drop, who is 2-1, but has a little bit more experience sitting at level 2, whereas Drop still looking for his level 2 in the top lane. He will rotate out and look to find this DD room, but Riser will have already got it, and perhaps he goes in here. Zfreak, they are going to find Drop here. Fisher to drop. Riser, yeah, body blocking up. Maybe perhaps wants to block him now from the tower, and he will do so. And a couple right clicks from Moon, and Zfreak will pick up the first blood. So good patience there from Riser, trying to back off his path towards the tower. We'll see if they look to go aggressively bottom here. They really just don't have much disable, and he can disjoint this Poison Touch now that he has his phase shift up on Limp. And there's really no kill potential coming out from Cheech here. So we're going to see a pull from Melisum and a pull through of wow, and Zfreak rotates into the mid lane with his newly acquired level 2 and concussive shot, and they actually end up taking out Monib's Razor. So he's had a poor series so far, getting completely wrecked on that Invoker in game 1 and now dying to the mid lane. He's only sitting at 9-0, so doubled up by Swindle's Viper right now, who as well has a kill. He's going to TP back into this mid lane. Keela boots up. He does have his bottle now on Monib, so a lot more sustain. Will get a free plasma field off of the fountain regen bottle charges, but already the harass going into him from Swindle, and Swindle's actually going to find a kill here as soon as he walks uphill. If not, all his damage is gone, and he does. Easy kill, easy life for Swindle. He's already 2-0 in this mid lane with a pair of kills up on this Viper, and a little bit of perhaps rage from Monib. Looks to go right uphill and steal a bunch of damage, but a little too late. No bottle charges used there on the retreat. So just couldn't get them off in between the orb attacks from Swindle, and Monib goes down there Unfortunate for him, he's already really behind. Moon Meanders 18-5. Jakiro about comparable with the 16-7 Doom of Cheech. So those laning equivalents doing well, but as I said, Limp having a much better time than Drop, sitting at 10-1 up against the 3-1, and he may even find a solo kill, but with the Scorched Earth, he just doesn't have enough burst damage here. But he will look to put some more harass into Cheech, knowing that the supports are out of lane, and actually Skywrath as well as Moon Meanders Jakiro end up picking off Drop again top lane. Drop's going to aggressively TP behind mid lane. They're going to look to posture up on Swindle here. But there is rotation in from Berg as well as Melisum. So great decision to go left from Swindle, and the Fissure Block will actually deter the aggression from HHHW, and Swindle will actually look to put some harass into the Treants here. Moon and Z-Freak will look to take the top tower, so trades all along the map going well. For Complexity Gaming, they dodge really a bullet, a proverbial bullet mid, and the Viper Strike going to go out onto Manib here, and he's probably going to die, just making sure that there's no support here, and there isn't the supports as well as Drop looking to D up top lane. It'll be a 2-on-3 here. So there will be a magic missile that'll go out into Moon, but no follow-up really. The Ice Path going to hit on too, as well as the Macro Pyre, and they're going to take down Berg. Well played by Moon, as well as the concussive shot coming out from Z-Freak to keep him, coupled with the Ice Path to keep him into that Ice Path going to go out, and it takes out Drop. I was going to say to keep him in that Macro Pyre. Z-Freak having most of his damage sapped away from Monin, but he'll use the zoning concussive shot. The Fisher's going to miss, but the Arcane Bolt and one Liquid Fire as well as a right click from Moon Meander will take out Monib's Razor again there. Drop will TP in just in time to get the experience from that kill there. Moon will look to take down this tower, but it is denied up from Drop's Neighbor's Prophet, so they lose a bit there. Losing 2 return kills on the way out in the form of Z-Freak, Skywrath, as well as Moon Jakiro, but they get both towers, albeit one denied, but both towers in this offlane 6 minutes in, and certainly some space created elsewhere on the map. Swindle not joining any of those engagements, and as is predictable in that case, the mech comes out for Viper at 6 minutes. Aquila, Brown Boots mech, and 400 gold for Swindle's Viper. He's doing extremely well, and Limp actually with the help of a concussive shot from Z-Freak. Sorry about that, guys, missed that kill. Just reveling at the farm of Swindle this early. He will find a kill bot lane solo on this Doom, who did not have Doom up, so great timing on that kill. He's not level 6 yet. We take a look at the hero levels. Nobody has an ultimate. A Swindle actually going to fall here mid to a magic missile, as well as a few right clicks from Monib, and the Sprout holding him in there from Drop. But an Ice Path going to go down, as well as a Macro Pyre, but he's going to get graved up in a timely fashion by Berg, and there's nothing here to finish him off. We will see Skywrath with the Mystic Flare finish off the teleporting Drop, Nature's Prophet in the background, and he will rotate out towards the mid without taking anything for his troubles in the backside. There will be a concussive shot, as well as the Ice Path and the Liquid Fire, and an Arcane Bolt with the Fisher will finish off Monib's Razor. Everyone looking pretty unhealthy mid, and the Wrath of Nature will almost kill off Z-Freak, but just not enough there from Drop's Nature's Prophet. So 12-5 is the score. 7.5 minutes in. Doom did go up bottom, but it was just a panic dying Doom onto Limp here. So wasted ultimate and a death from Cheech's Doom, and Jakiro cleans up Nature's Prophet in the background as well, using some Liquid Fire as well as perhaps the tower aggro onto Drop. So kills everywhere going in favor of Complexity there at 14 for 4. Magic Missile and a few right clicks from Melisum will clean up coL, and he actually walks up to him to provide vision for Moni to get his last hit. So smart support play by Melisum there, but perhaps just too little too late. A jump in, Waning Rift onto Melisum, as well as the coil onto the Mystic Flare, going to hit mostly on Moni, but he'll get graved up here. Will it be enough to get him out? No, the Arcane Bolt will finish him off from Z-Freak. And Cheech just not able to get much done in the backlines with his Doom down. There is still a double damage out on Limp. Z-Freak will look to back up. He'll cop a Poison Touch in the back, but an Ancient Seal, Waning Rift going to miss on Cheech. The concussive shot going to go out, as well as the Fissure onto Berg. A few more right clicks. There is a TP in here from Drop, however, and there is a phase shift as well as an orb from Cheech here, but he will go down to a Poison Touch and a Q A few right clicks from Berg. Dazzle will pick up a double here. Yule's here into a ice path as well as a Fisher in the Macropyre, and Drop gonna do exactly that. Drop real quick with this 9-minute Yule's out on Moon. So Monib gonna go in quite aggressively, and it looks like Hot Hands perhaps seeing their possible fate in front of them, just looking to find as much as they can off the back of these deaths. So again, what looks perhaps a 3-for-1 there mid. Only Limp ended up going down there on the puck. So excellent trade for Complexity. They're killing it pretty much everywhere in this game. We've got them leading by 7,500 net worth and 5,000 experience in this game. As you can take a look at the net worth chart, they have the top 4 positions, and their Earthshaker is above the Core Nature's Prophet as well as Monib's Razor, mid-solo Razor. So this game really not looking good at all. Magic Missile going to go out on the illusion of the Earthshaker, so a little more waste there. TP in top lane from Drop. He's going to finish off this tower with ease if they don't notice and glyph it in time, and he will. And he will TP back lane, but a coil on 2. Shallow Grave up on Berg. He's going to look to TP out, but is there enough? Yes, he does get out in time, but the Venge will go down, and so will Limp, actually. Mystic Flare out on Drop. Drop's going to drop quick. Nice backside kill from Z-Freak as well as Moon Meander, and the Macropyre will clean up Monib's Razor. A nice Ice Path into the Fisher, and the Echo Slam from Riser going to finish off Cheech's Doom in the back, and that's a 4-for-1 going the way of Complexity. Drop TPing in right into a Mystic Flare there from Z-Freak, so well played by him, as well as Moon to wrap around and flank from the tree line here. They're going to finish off this wave quick. The Weave does go out from Dazzle and hits on 2. So they're going to drop their armor down as well as the Wave of Terror from Venge. So that's going to deter the push from now. But Complexity definitely more than happy to take that trade. A 4-for-1, even though them not getting a tower. No problems with that. A couple Staffs of Wizardry up on Z-Freak's Skywrath Mage with his Arc Boots as well. He's sitting at 4,003rd on the net worth. Taking a look at his KDA, he's actually got 6 kills and 7 assists, so very active on the Skywrath Mage is Z-Freak. He's going to go for a Rod of Aoi here, and he's only about 500 gold off it. And the Fisher into the Mystic Flare will almost bring Drop down, but he has just enough, and there was not enough mana for that last Arcane Bolt from Z-Freak, so that would have got him enough for that Rod of Aoi, but unfortunately he doesn't make it there. Swindle going to look to D this mid lane, but thinks better of it, not having much support. He's just going to drag the creep wave away, and the Fisher going to finish off the Treants with the fort. So well played there. Good defense from only 2, using their exact limitations of their spells to deter the push here mid lane. And it looks like we will have backup. There is a Blink as well as a Yule's. 12 minutes in on Moon's Jakiro. So he's really farmed. Yule's combo into the Ice Path as well as the Macropyre. He's going to get Doom up on Swindle, and the Vengeful Spirit will make it out alive, and Moon Meander in trouble. There is some chase on the back lines, though, from Limp. We'll see if he finds Melisson here. He does not in the fog, and he will actually get brought down with a few right clicks, but he will bring the Venge with him with an Illusory Orb, and on the backside, Doom does go down, as well as drops Nature's Prophet, and an Ice Path will seal Monib's fate, as well as the Fisher block here. Concussive Shot going to go out onto Berg. He's going to Medallion into Z, and they will call the GG there, so just a bloodbath coming out from Complexity Gaming. Moon Meander, the Canadian, and the rest of his squad will move on in the Dota 2 Canada Cup playoffs to the semifinals, where they will face the winner of Sneakiness Assassins versus Root Gaming, which is going to be played on Sunday, September 21st. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. Had some real exciting Dota to cast for you tonight, and we'll have more of that surely on the Sunday the 21st. So Dota 2 Canada Cup really panning out to give us some premier Dota here. Some really good up-and-coming teams, as well as the likes of Navi US, minus a couple of their players in the tournament. So gonna look for some real good 2 best-of-3s on Sunday. We'll decide out the rest of the quarterfinals. If you didn't see the first best-of-3 in the quarterfinals, that was Thundercats actually losing in their match earlier on. So they are actually, after going 3-0 in the tournament, out of the tournament. They lost to Shadows of the Past. So unfortunately for them, they got 2-0'd after going 3-0. in the in the group stages. So thank you again for joining me, guys. I am More Rage Please Dota, your resident Canadian Dota 2 caster. Thank you for the support, guys. Follow me on Twitter at MRP_Dota. Shoot me a tweet. Tell me how bad I was doing. Tell me how much better I am than Toby Juan Kappa. And throw me a follow on twitch.tv/MRP_Dota. Love you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Let me know what I can do better, please. Make a Reddit post about me. Lump me in with Ziori, whatever you want to do. Whatever it is, as long as it's constructive, let's make my cast better and more enjoyable for you guys. So thank you so much. Once again, this is the Dota 2 Canada Cup playoffs, and that is how we do it in the North. Thank you again for joining me, guys, and I'll see you on Sunday the 21st. This is More Rage Please Dota, signing out.